have we had some exciting early action.
Wow, I'll tell you what, in the AFC, it's crazy. Right now, Baltimore clinches not only the AFC North, but they also clinch the #1 seed. A huge game next week against Miami. Buffalo at Miami. That will determine the AFC East winner and the #2 seed. Kansas City wins today. They'll get the #3 seed. And then you can see Jacksonville, they win today. They're holding #4 seed right now. And you can see on the other side in the hunt who's still there. It's still going to be a wild week 18, I believe, but this Buffalo at Miami game will determine the #2 seed in the AFC East lead.
And speaking of clinching, Lamar Jackson might have just clinched the MVP. I mean, as we've been talking about it all season, and some out there in the media were saying his numbers were quite pedestrian compared to Zay Flowers cutting back to the middle of the field, breaking a tackle and getting in the end zone. He had a perfect passer rating at 158.3, as we know. And then this one-handed catch by Likely. He sniffs the pylon, dives for it. It seems like everybody was hyper aware of Lamar Jackson and what scenario he was in, not only to clinch that #1 spot, but to say, you know what, my quarterback is the best QB in all of football.
Ravens with 6 straight wins. I'm smiling because somebody asked Coach Cowher, is it possible to peak too early? Not, what did you say, Bill?
No. Not a problem.
Not at this point.
Still lit this season. They're going to get a week off. Ravens are going to get a week off.
Drew said, oh, boy. Hey, after the game, it was our Evan Washburn with Lamar Jackson.
Well, Lamar, congratulations. Let me be the first to hand you this headline. AFC North champs, #1 seed. How do you like the looks of that?
It look good, you know. But we still got to take, you know, taking our mindset one game at a time. Got to keep being locked in. You know, can't get overwhelmed with what's going on right now. We can enjoy it today, but, you know, get ready for tomorrow.
I knew you were going to take that approach. But when you look at what this team's done over the last 6 days, you beat San Francisco and Miami by a combined 51 points. How would you describe what this team has been able to do over the course of these 2 games?
Just play against adversity. You know, just playing hard, playing like a Raven. You know, we finished the game. You know, last year we had these guys here, same situation. They came back and beat us. You know, this year our guys stay locked in. You know, it's a 4-quarter game, not 2 quarters. We found out the hard way last year, but our guys stepped up and just locked in. You know, that's been our mindset this whole season. We got to keep it going.
Yeah, for you, you only had 3 incompletions in this game, 5 touchdowns. How locked in are you right now?
I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
The MVP chants, when you hear those from this home crowd, what's it make you feel?
At home. I feel at home, you know. I appreciate that. That's all.
Happy New Year. You're going to enjoy it. Can I get one little smile?
Yeah, Happy New Year, F. For sure.
I got to tell you, honestly,
I love it. Great. I love it.
You are looking at one focused young man with a sense of purpose. And he's all the talk about the lack of finishing, nothing in the playoffs. You know, you can get to the playoffs, you're not going to win a championship. This guy is playing with a sense of purpose. He is not going to be stopped.
Yeah, you know, he's really good. I mean, like, really good. He's fast. You can't rush him, and he takes all day to throw it. And if you want to go after him, he's going to run and beat you that way. So Todd Monken, the offensive coordinator, new, skill guys, really good Baltimore offense, Andy.
I love Lamar's attitude.
Locked in.
Just locked in, to say the least. Hey, folks, 37-17, the Chicago Bears over the Atlanta Falcons. We'd like to welcome those of you who are watching that contest. Boomer's got the NFC picture.
All right, so San Francisco wins the West. They also clinched the #1 seed. Dallas now moves into the #2 seed because Philadelphia lost to Arizona. Think about what happened last night in Dallas. If Detroit had been given the 2-point conversion like they should have been given, they would have been in the 2 seed, and San Francisco and Detroit still would have had a shot at the #1 seed next week. Philadelphia falls down to the #5 seed. The Rams win next week against the 49ers, who are really nothing to play for. The Rams would then be in the wild card as well.
All right, you over here like Kornacki with the election.
I got you, man. I'm on it, man.
But listen, it's interesting that this season has kind of backloaded itself to week 17 and 18, which is great for us. I mean, thank you to the schedule makers, but also all of these division matchups towards the end of the year, because this is where it's really winding down.
You know, I'm just curious to watch this Kansas City team. There's been a lot of scrutiny talking about this offense, talking national TV and on Christmas Day and all this stuff and that took place there. See how they respond. There's a lot of pressure on them for the first time. When people are starting to talk about their identity, you never thought you'd have to talk about that with the Kansas City Chiefs. But
No kidding.
We're talking about it now.
No kidding.
See how they respond.
I think
Studio and the Verizon Halftime Report. It is the official 5G network of the NFL. Phil Simms says, where else would you prefer to be than having Nate start it off?
That's right. We have some highlights for you. Let's get right to them.
Here's the QB comparison. Lamar, 12 of 14, 255, 26 yards. You see Tua's numbers. We did eye visions on both of these defenses today.
Yes.
They're giving up how many yards, Bill?
A lot.
Over 500.
Oh, way over 500.
Hey, here's the deal. Think about Tyreek Hill drops a touchdown pass in this game.
Yeah.
And that kind of changes the game a little bit, but I'm with you. The way Lamar is playing right now, 3 touchdown passes, he's got to be the runaway MVP right now as we sit here.
Can't stop him.
This might be one of those teams he just plays well against. In his 4 games against the Dolphins, in the first half of those games, 10 TDs, 0 interceptions, perfect passer rating.
And all the playmakers he's got around him, you pick any one of them.
Sounds like his record against the NFC. I mean, he just flat out gets it.
Those with Jake Browning that are still very much in it. And then Kansas City, they lost last week to the Raiders. I mean, this is something we haven't said in quite some time. The Chiefs are trying to stay alive. There's a chance that they don't make the playoffs. And then when it comes to the Chargers and the Broncos, this is an idea of what this team could look like without Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson has...
Outside he's not listening to. That being said, Randy, from your perspective, what's the key for this Ravens offense today?
It's really just to keep Lamar doing what Lamar's been doing all season, is getting him out the pocket. Real quick, last week I talked about Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills, escaping the pocket. When the quarterback runs to your side, he hit Gabe Davis. When you're the closest receiver to the sideline, you roll deep. But there was a play last week in that San Francisco game where Lamar Jackson rolled to his left. Alex, as my quarterback, if we're running out of real estate in the red zone, what are you expecting me to do as a wide receiver?
I want you to fake up field, but then come back to me.
And that's exactly what Nelson Aguilar did for this offense. So all this praise about Lamar Jackson and what he's been able to do in this offense, you have to be able to give credit to his playmakers, too. The reason why Mark Andrews went down, all-pro Mark Andrews, then he rolls out to the left and throws that jump dime to Isaiah Likely, the tight end right there. OBJ, you have Flowers, you have Nelson Aguilar coming on. This offense is going to be hard to stop when you have the playmakers going along with the quarterback, because if there's any quarterback right now playing better than Lamar Jackson, y'all got to show me this quarterback.
Yeah, and the plays you're talking about are the extension of the plays. And then, defensively, man, every time you go up against Lamar, you have to understand that play can go 8, 9, 10 seconds. Yeah. And how challenging that is, Moss. I mean, you're talking about rolling to the left, rolling to the right. I mean, Mark Andrews not there. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's like you got to chase this guy, and then you better do extra conditioning during the week, Rex, because you get tired. So, Wilkins, Chubb, I mean, these guys that are Van Ginkel that are going after him, it's about getting them on the ground, not just pressure, because the plays, I mean, you're talking 9, 10 seconds here. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, what's ridiculous is all that 4-man rush he's seeing. It's absolutely ridiculous.
You stand 5.
I mean, are you out of your mind? Like, you don't do that to a guy that can run like this. I mean, it's stupid. And here's the thing. Look, Todd Monk has done a great job as the offensive coordinator coming in. He kept the same running game, because there's nothing wrong with Baltimore's run game, but he's added that passing game to it. You mentioned Odell Beckham coming in there, Zay Flowers. Yeah, they got better receivers. But Lamar sitting back there all day, 4-man rush. You can't stop him. You can't stop him. He's going to sit back there, wait. He's accurate throwing the ball down the field. And the other thing is he's escaping. He's the most dangerous, as you say, getting out of the pocket. Here's the stat. He's #1.